Hi guys, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. So, alright, so we're gonna just jump right back into traditional witchcraft. So, here we go. And this is all by Robin Artisson, so it's amazing and it's incredible. So, the egotist, and what might matter. Well, just about went head first into the computer. Okay, so now all of this writing is intended to do two things: deepen me and maybe kick an idea or two into your heads. So one or two seeds that you might discover, to your delight, grows into something amazing. So like these seeds did for me, there's always the off chance that you'll think I'm just boring or nuts. I think a lot of people think that about me. I'm just completely fucking nuts. So yeah. Or just hate my writing style enough to say thank you very much, Mr. Artisson. Click. No, I would never do that to you. I love your writing. It's amazing. So no. I want you to know beforehand that whatever happens to you, I'm okay with it and not offended. I love him. He's amazing, seriously. So, where did I go? Okay, so I'm not for everyone. No one is for everyone. I'm not special, despite the fact that I do love to act special from time to time, or think of myself in that way. And I have a shadow side, full of goblin mayhem and egotistic nonsense that can suffocate even beings that don't breathe air. I own those things about myself. Actually, I find that I'm smiling at the moment, enjoying talking about myself even now. Okay, I get it. I get the craziness. Alright, so I think that half of the people that say that they really like me are either just responding to a fellow egotist, which is okay, or trying to make me feel better, because I try so hard to be likable. You are likable. You don't have to try. That's for sure. Alright. So, whatever the case, I am honored that they either really like me or care enough just to act nice. No, I actually care. Because in the end, I will be swept away by the same great wind that blew me here. Just like you will be, and the earth will eat our bodies, or the devouring power of flame will. And nearly none of the things we've learned to be concerned about or distract ourselves with will really matter. So please note that I said nearly none of the things. A few things we gain in our lives will matter, and they'll make all the difference in the world when you are going among the unseen. So, and this is my heartfelt belief that some of the things the wind is about to draw from my body and mind here will be some of the things that do matter. So he says, give me a chance and give me your attention, and I promise to do my best. You can always turn back or turn away and forget you ever read a thing I said, and all will be still well. That's what fate really means, dear readers. That comes what way? All is well, even if we find ourselves spitting in distaste or sadness. I love everything about this guy, so I have no problems, no complaints. Genuine likability. Alright, so just witchy blogs of note by Robin Artisson. So, in the past days, it was difficult to find good resources on traditional witchcraft, yes. Aside from the work of Andrew Chumbley, Nigel Jackson, and of course Robert Cochrane, very few had written anything about their path. Those had, Chumbley for example, were nearly impossible to get your hands on. It's still kind of tough. It's still kind of difficult to get your hands on anything traditional witchcraft. So but it's becoming better since I started, and I'm seeing so much more being just blown up, and just everything is out there now on traditional witchcraft. So, alright, now, so we are now in an age when many of us have deigned to come out from the shadows and for sharing our practices with others. For some of us, we have felt called by our gods to share this information. Others see it as a kind of a way to pass on the knowledge so it will be not lost after we are gone. And that's what my thing is. What I know, what I have written down. Who the hell's going to have that when I'm long gone? So, thank God for the internet. Nothing ever gets lost on the internet. Never goes away either. So, alright, where'd I go? Okay, still others look at what Neo-Wicca has done to our faith, and cry enough. We are sick in our souls of watering down and spelling out the craft, and demand a return to more traditional ideas and practices. So if you are looking for how the old craft lives on today, you would do well to visit and join these blogs. Alright, so we have The Alchemist's Garden, one of the best online resources for learning about our plant friends and how they are used by those who walk the hedge witchcraft. So, Plant Familiar Magic has become rather faddish as of late. This blog is the idea antidote. So, Art of Conjure and Hoodoo. So, witches cast spells, do they not? You would be hard-pressed to find a more vibrant spellcasting community than that of Hoodoo. So, very true. This is excellent advice on spellcraft and spell components. Do you know what a kundong is used for? Classic Witchcraft, a new blog by a very dear friend and teacher in the craft. I can assure you that PJB will be writing about proactive nitty-gritty craft. Now we have New World Witchery. Part blog, part podcast. These delightful witches are doing work very similar to what we are doing here. So they are interested in the American expression of tradcraft. Tracks in the witch hood. This is Robin Artisson's blog. Yes, we know. Have you actually read his books? They're a wellspring of traditional craft. His blog is on occasion as well. Yeah, you gotta try to kind of read his books, because he's really, really good. So, Walking the Hedge. So, Juniper found us before we found her, but we are so glad that she did. This real hedgecraft, not the domesticated kitchen witchery that tries to pass itself off as hedge walking. Now, the Wild Hunt. This is not a trad-specific blog, rather it is a new service provided by one extraordinary witch, Jason Pitzel Waters, who documents news of note to witches and pagans throughout the world. Now, the Witches of Forest Grove. Kind of like this one too. It looked like we've saved the best for last. Sarah Lawless is everything you've ever thought a witch was when you were young, and believed in such things with your whole heart. So that's a bit of effusive, but I am quite an admirer of her work. I love her work. She's an artist, a plant worker, and a hedge writer with a Scottish flair. She lives in the Pacific Northwest in a temperate rainforest. So how amazing would that be? It's seriously amazing. Very. So here we go with just a little bit of the Witch's Library. So Robin Artisson obviously is a librarian by trade. So surely you knew this post was coming. There are hundreds of books about witchcraft available on the market today, and it can be difficult to sort out the useful works from the tripe. Compiled below is a list that I personally recommend for beginning witches, or those looking to expand their knowledge of the craft. So this is by no means a complete list, as I can only recommend the books which I myself have read and gleaned some good from. Please add your own suggestions in the comments. So, books central to our tradition. These writings are recommended by anyone who seeks to practice American folkloric witchcraft. So, The White Goddess, a historical grammar of poetic myth by Robert Graves, Call of the Hornpiper, and Masks of Misrule by Nigel Jackson. Amazing. Call of the Hornpiper, I always recommend that book first. The Writings of Roy Bowers, Robert Cochrane. The Real Mother Goose by Blanche White. Right. So, Tradcraft Basics. So these books will give you a good introduction to traditional witchcraft practices. Now, we have The Roebuck in the Thicket by Evan John Jones and Robert Cochrane, editor Mike Howard. Witchcraft, a Tradition Renewed by Doreen Valentine and Evan Joan Johns. To Forge of Tubal-Cain by Anne Finnan. Grimoire for Modern Cunning Folk by Peter Padden. The Witching Way of Hollow Hill by Robin Artisson. I recommend The Witching Way of Hollow Hill. I'm partial. Yes. What is wrong with my nose ring? There we go. I don't like it. Okay, General Witchcraft. So these books, combined with a few of others for each section, will give you an excellent foundation in craft. So, Mastering Witchcraft. This is a really good one. A Practical Guide for Witches, Warlocks, and Covens by Paul Hudson. I love that book. It's a bit on the left-hand path side, so. The Rebirth of Witchcraft, Witchcraft for Tomorrow, and Natural Magic by Dorian Valentine. Witches All by Elizabeth Pepper. Witchcraft, a Mystery Tradition by Raven Gramassi. Wheel of the Year by Pauline Campanelli. Courting Lady, A Wiccan Journey. Book 1, The Sacred Path by Patrick M. McCollum. Okay, so here are some Wiccan classics. These books are unabashedly Wiccan, in the sense that they can trace their way back to the practices of Gerald Gardner. So High Magic's Aid, Witchcraft Today and the Meaning of Witchcraft by Gerald Gardner. The Witch's Way, 8 Sabbaths for Witches, available collected as a Witch's Bible. The Witch's God and the Witch's Goddess by Janet and Stuart Farrer. Craft History, so many of these books were inspired for the modern craft movement. The Triumph of the Moon, The History of Modern Pagan Witchcraft and Stations of the Sun by Ronald Hutton. Aradia, or The Gospel of the Witches of Italy by Charles G. Leland. The Golden Bow by James George Fraser. Personally know this man, he's amazing, and that's a very good book. A very good book, very big. Very big. So, Gods of the Greeks by Carl Kareny. The God of the Witches by Margaret Murray. Ecstasies, Deciphering the Witch's Sabbath by Carlo Ginsberg and Raymond Rosenthal. Now we have totemic totem information. Totems. If you want to know more about the totems of our tradition, there are a great place to start your research. Tree Wisdom, the definitive guide book to the myth, folklore, and healing powers of trees by Jacqueline Memory Patterson. The Celtic Tree Oracle, a system of divination by Colin Morey and Vanessa Card. Druid Animal Oracle by Philip Stephanie Gom, and Bill Worthington. Sacred Mask, Sacred Dance by Evan John Jones, and Chas Clifton, Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. Now we have Spellcraft. So when you want to work magic, this is where you should start. Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs and Book of Incense Oils and Brews by Scott Cunningham. Both of them are very good. So, the Element Encyclopedia of Witchcraft and the Element Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells by Judica Isles. A Century of Spells by Draja Mecharic. Alright, so he also suggests you explore these Tradcraft reading lists to inspire further book lust. So, Probus Lecto, a Clan of Tubal-Cain reading list. Very good, very good. Very good. The Witches of Forest Grove's suggested reading list. Sarah Lawless also writes Pagan Bookworm, a witchy book lover's blog. The Ancient Celtic Church's reading list. Traditional Witchcraft Research Network reading list. And the House Shadow Drake reading list. The House of Shadow Drake is a really, really good one. I did get a lot of information from the House of Shadow Drake, so it's very, very interesting. And then the White Dragon recommended reading list. So, alright guys, we have quite a bit. So we have a lot on the Witch's Library, and we have witchy blogs of note, and the Egotist, and what might matter. So, pretty interesting stuff. I mean, really interesting stuff. And I'm just finding it even more with the senses. Using the senses. It's just, I mean, it's much better. It's a lot better, especially using the senses in magic. Candle magic, it has amped everything up. It's made everything become just better. I love it. I do. So, I mean, if you guys go back and you guys do the whole exercises with the senses, you know, feeling, being part of your chair and just sensing and not feeling anything, but just sensing with your senses and, you know, anything. It's seriously amazing, and it has helped me within a day, 2 days, 3. So, I mean, it's pretty incredible. But, alright guys. So what are you guys doing for Lupercalia? Anything? Anything? I really want to do this traditionally, but I don't know. Might not. Don't know. So, but alright guys, I have talked enough for today. So, I love you all very much, all the way from Venus, all the way back down, and I will see, there we go, and I will see you all tomorrow. So I love you all. Like, what, 8 more days until Sabrina, part 3. It's gonna be amazing. So I love you all very much, and everybody have a good day.